they've already allotted a place they think is the right distance from a light and heat source, and therefore the chances on it will be all the advantages of the life that we had down here on Earth, because it's all to do with how far you go from the sun, and that's where they're going to go. So that's a covenant. That is like the settlers that came to the United States. You can think about it that way. They'll come across the sea, land, and have to deal with the indigenous people if there are any. So when they arrive, ironically, expecting indigenous, there are none. They're all dead. They see a dead planet. When we arrive there, the planet is a dead planet, is a haunted house, where the only thing on it you've got no life form except plant life, trees, and air. You've got air. You've got no animals at all. As it were, every form of the pathogen kills every form, if you like, meat, whether it's insect, whether it's human life, it kills the meat. So you without any population whatsoever. That's how you begin. I think Ash was a kind of original idea that, in the AI, every ship has an AI on board, and to make it a little bit more user-friendly, the AI seems to be human, so you're not talking to a robot. Okay, so but no, nevertheless, the Ash was a robot, Ian Holm. In this instance, our AI on board this ship is Walter. Walter is absolutely the doppelganger, the double of David. And so when we see Walter, we think it's David, then we realize it's not David, it's the doppelganger now called Walter, who's another AI. So we're now in flight on that one, and he's the housekeeper, and he walks around, checks things out, never has to sleep, and doesn't age. When they finally land, to cut a long story short, and they had a bad encounter on the planet, even though the planet is kind of wondrous and spectacular and kind of threatening in its scale. At a certain point in there, they meet this stranger who turns up out of nowhere, fundamentally guides them out of a problem, and the guy, when he gets into where he takes them, which is a town, a village, a city that had been destroyed, and once they're inside in safety, he de-hoods, and we see David. I needed somebody who was physically imposing, tall, athletic, and hopefully a good actress. And she's special. I think what's interesting, both she and Crudup, Billy, come from the theatre, very much so. And it was I'm sure I've dealt with people before from the theatre, must have. But they weren't theatrical in that sense, but they very much brought to bear to their technique, their knowledge and sensitivity theatrically. Because, when you're doing a film like this, which is constantly people dying and constantly stressful and has to be, and constant show of fear, there's many colors of fear. There's many colors of remorse and many colors of everything. And a person who's had theatre background, they dig deep and can pull that out. So they helped enormously in that respect. I really enjoyed working with both of them. I had to have something in addition to the usual suspect, because I didn't want that to wear out, and I wanted to save him, to be exclusive with him at the end, because he's the xenomorph, comes out at the end. So the neomorph is the one without the armor, in whitish flesh. He's evolving quite well. You haven't seen him yet properly done. He looks pretty great. So it's a new form of creature. Yeah. I hope it's really scary. I hope it's gets you very uneasy. I hope your veins start going, your arteries start going. I hope your heart starts pounding. I hope you have a very dry throat. But you got to watch the screen.